Welcome back, guys. Today I'm trying out a new set of equipment. My dear friend Lucas from Southwest had the courtesy of borrowing his new set of wireless microphone. So I thought, hey, why not just give it a go and see how it feels to do this variation of a video, like moving around, talking to you guys, and just want to check the audio quality as well, so I know if I can use it in upcoming working out videos or talking to you guys about something educational where I will be doing different things while talking. So this is a test, it's a demo, if you will. But I thought while we test it, I could also give you guys a talk while I'm at it. A talk about something that I reflected on today while I was at the gym. And I was doing some ab work. I've recently taken up the focus on the abs and especially the core. Because it has been something of a weakness for me for quite some while, especially the core, not just the abs, but the core itself, like not training it, and especially how to use it, how to brace in certain lifts. Because now when I actually focus actively on bracing and using my core to the fullest, I'm getting so much out of my lifts, like all my compounds. I'm not saying they get magic numbers or improve like that just because of it, but the performance and the execution is so much more stable, much more secure. So it's a way better foundation right now to up the reps, up the weights, and build something strong. So that's really great. But what I was thinking about regarding the core and the abs was that why is it that certain muscle groups are neglected these days? Abs are one of those. Like, we don't train abs the same way as we train our biceps or shoulders or the chest. At least for the guys. Oftenly, not all the guys, but the most of us, when we get to the gym, we often automatically train the pecs, the shoulders, the arms, the back, and so on, like it's nothing. It's automatically, we go 110% on these muscles. Like, we strive for that, that like fatigue, and we love it. But when we talk about muscles like the abdomen, we don't do that. And sure, some of you do it, and that's really good. But for the most of us, at least what I've seen, is that we neglect the abs. And I think a lot of people just neglect them because they're boring to work out. Same goes for mobility. We don't do mobility because it's boring, and we don't want what's boring. But in some cases, sometimes you just need to let go of the ego and do the things even if it's boring, because you kind of have to, whether you like it or not. You do have to, because I was one of those people. I think it was like last year first I was actually taken up upon this concept, like really taking mobility serious and bracing serious and training this boring part actually more than short periods. Like, sure, I've done stretches and mobility drills in the past, but I never took them serious. They were so boring to do, and I never saw any results, so I just quit with them. I stuck with my program, like the strength, the power building, and what worked. But I kind of forgot to do the things that I actually sucked at, that I was really weak at, because now I'm paying the price. Now I am going all out on my flaws, my imperfections, and it's really good for me to do all these hard things, because I really feel how it not perfects, but it shows me my true potential. Like, now I get real excited when I step upon a flaw or something I'm really weak at. First, sure, it's never good or never a nice experience to learn about your imperfections. Like, it's never pleasant to learn the things you suck at. But along the way you learn from it, and the things you learn is so much greater than avoiding it. But as I talked about with the abs, a lot of people neglect them, and I don't really get why. Sure, as I said, they're boring, but there's a lot of muscles that are boring to train, I think. I love to train them all, almost them all, but it's just so exciting to be in the gym, whether I train legs, shoulders, calves, abs, you name it. It's such an humbling experience, you know? But I also think if you guys train abs, or whoever trains abs actually trains them, they're not always training them hard enough or doing it with resistance. That's another thing though. I see so much of the ab work that's actually happening is containing like all these crunches and free weights, like doing all these drills and ab workouts without weights. That's great and all for toning and, like, I don't know, leaning down and maybe for the shreds, I don't know, but I always think resistance is key. And with resistance, I mean like adding weight. Same with the abs. I don't get why you're not adding weights to training abs. And yeah, you can't just train abs to make them pop or make them like shredded and visible. You need to be on a caloric deficit and work on that fat loss and lose that fat to actually make them pop. But at the same time, you could and you want to put some resistance to it. And yeah, sure, it will get you some results to train abs without any weight. It will, especially in the beginning. But I believe in resistance training and the great benefits of it. So just like weighted crunch would do you so much more, I think. I've added that, and I don't always have the time or maybe willpower to do abs with the same volume. You don't have to do that. Some of you can do that, but you don't have to. For example, I always finish off with just one set of AMRAP weighted crunches. Like after my original workout, I only do one set with the cable station, with the rope, like doing a kneeling crunch down like that. Putting on a huge amount of weight, like really heavy, because I'm doing AMRAP with cables and only one set. So I'm gonna make it count. You gonna make it count. So don't save on the weights or stuff like that. It's one set, it's all or nothing. And because it's only one set, it's not gonna fatigue you that much, even if it's crazy heavy at that set. It's not. And that's why I adore this current program I'm using, like doing 2 sets on almost every exercise, because I can do so much work within so many different angles and save my body from fatiguing as much. It's really great. I don't know if I will proceed using it until the next year, but I'll be doing it now for like another month or so. Yeah. And I think the same goes for mobility. I will talk about mobility and stretching in a more detailed sense in another video. But the thing I want to take up here is like when I talk about doing abs even with weights, same goes for mobility. I've done this too. I've started to do way more mobility, but I also added weights to my mobility drills. So, for example, in the beginning, I was focusing a lot on my hip flexors, like doing hip flexions, standing up and stuff like that, just to put some movement and momentum in the joints. Then when it like opened up and got more mobile in a sense, I wanted to do the same movement, but with some resistance. I could do the same movement, but with a kettlebell hanging on my foot, doing the same thing, adding the resistance while practicing the mobility. And I think this is really important, because that's often the case when we do and when we need to do mobility or even stretch. It's not just about the mobility. It's also about the like strength and weakness in that joint you're training the mobility in. So I want you guys to explore your angles, explore your options. And I think that is what training is all about. I hate doing the same stuff all over, day in and day out. Like, I hate it. And that is why I use a quite variation style approach to my training. Other people have the same like program and the same splits all over again all the time. I wouldn't manage, because I don't know, I love variation, and I think that approach is what got me obsessed or even dispassionate about the gym in the first place. Like, when I had this approach I could use that made me try out and do new exercises, new angles every day. That was what got me like excited every day to go to the gym. Like, oh my god, I could try this today. Let's see how this feels today and stuff like that. And that was so awesome. That is still so awesome, by the way. And that is what worked for me, and you still need to find what works for you. That doesn't have to work for you. It works for me, but not for a lot of people though. No. But yeah, that was an example of a video I thought I would make. A little different topics in the same video today that I will be talking more about in upcoming ACEtalks. But I thought it was a fun way of trying out these microphones as well. Hope you guys liked it, and I will be trying to post more and more content, both talking like this and my regular format as well. But if you guys have any suggestions or wishes for upcoming content, let me know. I love to hear it. But without further ado, I hope you have a great week, and I catch you on the next one.